Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. After some of the team attended the Proofpoint State of the Fish conference earlier in the week, I thought I'd share some of the learnings with everybody. Um, the main thing that kind of we came away with is that there's quite a lot of new forms of attack, which are incredibly important to be aware of. And this video very specifically is going to focus on what's being labeled TOAD attacks. That's TOAD. It stands for Telephone Oriented Attack Delivery, which is a new kind of phishing attack that uses kind of multiple services to trick users into actually calling the criminal yourself and giving them all the information that they need. Toad attacks are kind of like a blend of traditional phishing and social engineering, but with a kind of a nice little spicy new twist, if you will. So they use an email or a text message or any other kind of messaging to prompt you as the user to call a fake customer support line or a help desk number. So it might look like a text message with some erroneous delivery information that encourages you to call a helpline, or a kind of message from customer, for example, saying, please give me a call. Once on the phone, attackers will then use social engineering tactics that you kind of will be aware of to gain access to sensitive information like passwords, credentials, one-time passcode, MFA passwords, that kind of thing, and kind of bypassing the security protocols that you have in place. At the moment, there are about 1,000 call centers set up to take these kind of calls globally. This time last year, there were 100. The Office for National Statistics reckons that there will be 2 or 3 in the UK by the end of the year, which speaks a little bit about how successful these attacks have already been if they're setting up contact centers in the country. They're finding that they've got something working. So here's how a typical Toad attack might work. Let's say you or an employee receives a legitimate looking email or message. Might claim to be from your bank, might claim to be from us, might claim to be from a client. It urge you to call the support line to resolve kind of an urgent issue like billing error, security alert. When the user then calls, they're connected to kind of a fake support representative, who will have been trained to seem really professional and knowledgeable. They will probably know some personal details, so they will know that I, Harry Mason, works for Mason Infotech. They'll know my job title. They'll have done the same amount of research on you as a kind of good sales rep will have. And during the call, they will have tried to extract sensitive information or direct you to install like a maintenance software or something, malicious software basically, under the guise of fixing the issue. They're effective for a few reasons. Firstly, by involving a phone call, they obviously bypass any kind of email security systems that detect links or attachments or anything like that. So they don't need to send you a link to your inbox that might get snagged by a spam filter. You're going and searching for whatever they want you to install. Secondly, the voice element makes these attacks feel a little bit more legitimate, a little bit more personal, meaning that the targets, the users, are far more likely to trust the attacker than if it was just an email. Cybercriminals do know that most people are more likely to provide sensitive information over the phone than they are to click a suspicious link, which is why they've initiated this over the phone piece. The personal connection element really lowers kind of the user's guard, and it makes them far more likely to comply with the attacker requests. Some of these call centers aren't even manned by humans, right? You've got generative AI that's kind of mimicking human speech to a point where you can't tell who you're speaking to. So worth being aware of. What I'll do is continue to publish these learnings as we process them internally, and I'll push more out in the beginning of next year about the trends we expect to see in the security space. Basically, I will be talking probably more about toad attacks. I'll be talking a lot about MFA bypass. Obviously, we have just initiated kind of full estate MFA for everybody within the Mason Infotech sphere. Cyber criminals have obviously found a way to get past MFA, and so kind of there are MFA bypass pieces to look out for. QR codes have made a comeback. It feels very retro. And then generative AI. This year has been the year of generative AI. It's been almost all many businesses have spoken about, but there is kind of a major concern around how AI is impacting things like business email compromise attacks, how AI has been able to uh, create an environment for more successful phishing attacks. So lots to talk about there. Um, the biggest industry kind of affected at the moment, i.e., kind of industries that are being affected more than anyone else, is construction. Um, Perhaps not hugely surprising. You have kind of 90% of the workforce in the construction industry not at a PC every day, possibly not trained to visibly see or spot cyber attacks. And the best performing industries against this kind of thing normally is kind of marketing, advertising, PR. Again, a workforce that is almost entirely behind a PC 40 plus hours of the week, and so therefore kind of has to take that training incredibly seriously. So kind of I'll release some of these elements in these kind of stats through the course of the year, but basically what you need to know is if you're in that construction industry, criminals are targeting you because they're having the best luck in that industry. So something to be aware of. Now, I won't see you next week because I'm on holiday. I am off to celebrate turning 29. So I will see you back a week commencing the 11th. Thanks, everyone. Bye.